Welcome back to another trade recap. Recap number, forget, week of the 12th to the 18th. Let's get into it. So, this is now what we are looking at for the week, and it is disgusting because Friday, for the first time, I finally felt an emotion while trading, and I don't know how to explain it, but I was fucking myself over 10 times over. And I traded 9 times on Saturday, and about 7 of those were absolute bullshit trades. Let's just get into it. So the 14th was a banger. So technically the 13th is a Sydney session right before the 14th, but market counts, whatever. And then we come over here. I caught a continuation of a 10 o'clock reversal. I was sitting in the 15-second off a 10 o'clock reversal. The 9 o'clock swing from the low to the high to 9:30 was bullish, so to catch a continuation to more of the upside or just a tiny little scalp, I saw the pullback at 9:30, which was the 9:30 reversal, but I was not shorting since we were at all-time highs. So after that swing was completed, and I had already missed my re-entry at 10 o'clock on purple level because of this huge volume imbalance in the last high of Sydney that was made. I was going to use purple level, but since I was late, I waited in the 15-second, and I caught a pullback. And as soon as it hit 10 o'clock, had some movement to the upside and only took it to about 50% of the entire swing itself. So it was an easy $400 on the day. I did not trade after that. Here's the 15th. I bottom tick. I didn't bottom tick. I almost got stopped out though. But this was at 7 o'clock during Sydney session. We are at all-time highs, by the way, so I was only taking buys because why would I take a short when it's unprobabilistic that it would go down at that exact time? Yes, I probably could catch a short, but the chances of me taking a long are more higher chances of hitting TP than it would be taking a short off of all-time highs. So my confluences for this trade was the fact that I had missed the first setup. As you can see down here, I chose purple level because of the first fair value gap. This is also the first 5-minute fair value gap. I was in the 5 minutes, so I chose it to be the top of a purple level and took it that way. Even if I had chose pink level, I would not have gotten in. I would have been edged by a few ticks, and then price continued to go up. So then I waited until 7 o'clock. This happened at 6:30. I waited till 7 o'clock, waited for a pullback, and we came into the 0.382 level of this entire swing in itself from the 7:30 low to the 6:50 high. Price trickled down. I did a 15-second fib from the 644 low to the 650 high, and if we were scaled into the 15-second time frame, we would have seen that 0.786 level was the top of the 15-minute OB. 15-second OB, and the 0.382 level was also inside of that 15-second OB. So I used that as a confluence for a continuation to the upside and took it all. First TP would have been here at the last high that was made, but since 8 o'clock did not open yet and 6:30 was still bullish, I was planning on trailing the trade, but I did not end up taking it or trailing and putting it farther like I would have liked, but that's okay. The next day, we got edged here. No, we got edged for this trade by just a few ticks. We chose a few ticks above 50% for a pullback to have a continuation to the upside. And we missed that, unfortunately, but then we tried to catch another long at 7 o'clock or for a 7:15 reversal. And we kind of entered a little late, scuffed up entry because I saw an impulse off this area because this is my original entry because I did have a limit order down here when price was up here, but then I was like, never mind. I saw an impulse and I immediately started doing some bullshit ass analysis, and this what fucked me. So lost 600 that day, or I lost 300 in that trade, and then I lost 200 in the next trade. I got stopped out by one singular tick. It's unfortunate, but I wasn't gonna re-enter in case price still wanted to continue down. This was the most scuffed entry because I waited till 9 o'clock to choose either pink level or purple level, and I fat fingered my stop loss and I just moved it down to this random low when I should have put it below green. Yes, I would have lost more money, but it would have, that's where my stop is supposed to be, and I did not put it there. So that trade is on me. And this is the day I lost $600. That was a $200 trade. This is where we fucked up. You'll be able to see the executions in 1 second, but where I have this, my executions were on something else. But here's my first execution. I forgot why I took it. Actually, I can just look over here. So at the beginning of the session, I was calling it. I was like, once price comes to this area, I'm going to enter a long. But price was, the spread that day on Thursday night was very high, and I was scared, and I probably shouldn't have even taken the trade in the first place. Or traded, I should have backed away. I should have done only micros, but I was doing fuck what else. So my first analysis was from the range of New York, the low and high of New York, and the 5-minute swing that we had at 2 p.m. to the high of New York. And once City opened, prices continued bullish, but I was still, all right, we have 50% on the 5-minute fair value gap and 15-minute fair value gap. And then we also have a 0.618 and 0.65 level on a 5-minute order block that has the 50% of New York, the average session price of New York, and the 50% of New York overall. But when City opened, we continued bullish, making the swing even larger. So these are what these two fibs are for. And now we have extra confluences of the 0.618 level being right above the 15-minute fair value gap. We also have the 50% of the low of New York to the high of Sydney for the entire completed swing for a confluence, and we also have 0.687 lined up with 0.618 for another confluence. But we are going to wait and see the reactions off of what area and timing. The market's all about timing, so we're waiting for time. So when it came down to it, from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, we ripped bearish. At 9:45 though is when we hit our area of interest, and when market volume is very high, 15-minute reversals are more probable than 30-minute reversals when price is trickling and being very slow. So this could have been a 15-minute reversal setup. Purple level lining up with 50% of New York's entire range and average session price. And we also have the 5-minute order block in the center of it all. So that would have been a perfect place to have a limit order and entry for 9:45. And then could have taken it to 50% of the swing, 0.18 level of the swing, or 0.76, or a 5-minute OB at the top of Asia. But if I take you over to MGC, I had already missed the trade, and once I saw it reversing off that area, I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? So I was like, I need to get into it. And so I was taking executions back to back to back to back, ultimately fucking myself over. This was where the 0.618 level was, and we went in the 5-minute order block, average session price, we went up, and I was like, damn, I missed it. And I continued to freak out and panic because the spread was so high. I was like, all right, give me my money back. I had to stop above this high, buy stop, and I was like, all right, buy stop. If price breaks above here, it still wants to continue bullish. That was not the case. It broke the high, swept it, and then continued down. My stop was just below here. If it was below here, I would have been fine, but I also would have been down $1,000 if I got stopped out. So I wasn't thinking, and then boom. And I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? So then I saw this. I'm like, all right, let's sell. And then I got fucked. And then, yeah, I just kept getting fucked. And then I finally locked my account after being $1,000 in drawdown when I should have stopped after my first trade, and I only lost $179 there. but I think it was because I called it at the beginning of the session and I missed it. I was trying to chase a trade, and that's what ultimately fucked me. So yes, that was the trade recap. Thank you for watching, and we will come back better, stronger in the next video next week, and we will not be breaking our rules. Thank you. Oh my god, I was holding and sneezing for way too long.